What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a breakdown for Edge of Fate and Year of Prophecy, although in this video we'll go into much more detail, hopefully covering a bunch of stuff that you may have missed regarding the next set of content drops for Destiny 2. So we've got a bit more info about the roadmap of content this year, as well as key components of the major expansions and seasonal content, new abilities, new enemy types, a more in-depth look at new weapons for Kepler, which is the destination in Edge of Fate, information about power, UI and system changes for weapons, armor, updates to vaults, and a whole bunch of other stuff which we'll round up in the video. So if you guys enjoy this one, do us a favor and get subscribed to the channel, but otherwise now let's get into it. As Bungie discussed in the reveal this week, they've said what they're calling the Fate Saga is going to play out over several years, and there'll be 2 paid expansions a year, as well as 2 free major updates, which are expected to be about the size of Into the Light. On top of that, alongside each expansion there'll be a season. Seasons will be free and focus primarily on updating the core game, as opposed to constantly introducing brand new content. And 2025 into 26 will be the Year of Prophecy. As we know, Edge of Fate will launch on July 15th, as well as a season called Reclamation, and following that there'll be a major update called Ash and Iron on September 9th. So Edge of Fate itself is set on the new destination, whereas Ash and Iron, the September update, will have us returning to the Plaguelands. And that will include a new activity called Reclaim, as well as a brand new exotic mission, 2 new exotic weapons, new pinnacle ops and rewards. Following on from that, we'll get Renegades, the second expansion of the year, which will launch on the 2nd of December, alongside a season called Lawless, and this is the sort of Star Wars inspired expansion. And following that content drop, we'll get Shadow and Order, which is a new major update starting on the 3rd of March 2026. Although Bungie did say beyond that, next year we'll get an expansion called Shattered Cycle, which will launch in the summer, and another expansion called The Alchemist, which will drop in winter. Looking at Edge of Fate though, of course Bungie revealed Kepler abilities, a mix of new dark matter energy found on the destination, combined with Guardian abilities, and we'll be able to upgrade these over time. Plus Bungie say they'll help us to uncover new secrets on the destination. So there's Matter Spark, which will jolt enemies and be able to fit into small areas, and it appears we'll trigger these by interacting with certain nodes on the destination. The other one is the Relocator Cannon, dark matter tech mixed with Void, which will let us bypass laser walls and teleport around the world. Then we have Mattermorph, which is mixed with Strand, and it allows us to move geometry, open doorways, and reveal secrets. In terms of separate Guardian ability updates, we haven't heard anything from Bungie yet, although we're more than likely going to see at least some. Another component for Kepler here, which isn't entirely surprising, but we will get a sort of vendor hub, and we can see it in the background here. There appear to be armed guards and civilians, plus we can see the vaults in the background, so obviously a base station where we'll probably also be able to interact with Lodi, the new and very out of place looking character that Bungie have revealed for Edge of Fate. On this destination as well, there will be some new enemy units, including Fallen Corsairs that can actually fly, which is pretty wild. On top of that, in some of the gameplay, you may have noticed new special and heavy ammo meters that'll be introduced next to the ammo UI. Plus, these are the weapons for Kepler, which look pretty cool, like the skin on them, and it's nice to get a bit of new geometry and styling for these weapons as well. In terms of new archetypes, briefly, it is worth mentioning a couple that look pretty interesting. So there's a hand cannon right here that firstly is firing arc damage, however it then switches and appears to start firing stasis damage. So not exactly sure what we're looking at here. Could be that weapons potentially have dual elements, or there's some kind of ability allowing the weapon to switch to a different element. So that's quite curious in itself. Otherwise, there's a burst hand cannon that Bungie show here that appears to be scorching targets simply by damaging them. So that might be a new perk or something like that. Otherwise, we also see the pulse rifle here, which has strand damage, seemingly charge up, almost like a linear fusion rifle, and fire what appears to be a sort of heavy tracer round. So it's clear from what we're seeing that Bungie are going to be playing around with weapons, maybe in a more significant way than what we've had before. Alongside these weapons, there'll be new armor sets, and of course Bungie are moving into Armor 3.0, which will come with set bonuses and stats which have been totally reworked, and we'll be able to exceed 100 stats, which will actually unlock new bonuses, so that's pretty cool. And they said energy on new armor drops will be maxed out, so we won't have to upgrade everything, but we'll be able to start playing with builds straight away. There'll also be the introduction of a weapons stat, which increases weapon reload speed and handling, damage against minor and major combatants. And if that stat goes above 100, there'll be an enhanced benefit where ammo bricks from defeated targets have a chance to contain additional rounds. So that sounds pretty wild. Then at base, the health stat will increase the amount of health we gain when we pick up an orb of power. It'll also reduce flinch from incoming fire, and the enhanced benefit allows shields to recharge more quickly and have additional health. The class stat though reduces a class ability cooldown, increases the amount of class ability energy provided by all sources, and the enhanced version lets us gain an overshield when we use our class ability. The grenade stat obviously reduces grenade ability cooldown, and it increases the amount of energy that we get from all sources, and the enhanced version increases the damage actually put out by grenades. It does the same thing on the super stat and for the melee stat. Plus we spot a couple of set bonuses on these pieces of gear as well. So here for example, wearing the Kepler armor, 2 pieces will unlock Force Converter, and after a final blow with any rocket or grenade launcher, sprinting for a short time will gain a speed boost. Then when wearing 4 pieces, we get Reactive Booster, and once per activation of Force Converter, sprinting while at critical health, being suspended or slowed will immediately grant speed booster for a short duration. Those are just a couple of examples. Then in terms of power, we see a Guardian with 300 total power here. Bungie didn't speak about it in the reveal, but they did say they'll touch on this in future updates, and for now they can confirm that power will be squished at launch, and players will have their power refreshed as we embark on this journey. So between weapons, armor, and power that we gain from all of them, it's going to be a pretty significant refresh in Edge of Fate. If you're wondering about vault space though, Bungie don't have specifics to outline yet, but they've said there will be additional vault space and quality of life features coming in Renegades in December, so for the moment we'll have to work with the vault space we've got, but updates will ultimately be coming a bit further down the road. Outside of this, of course, we saw the Portal home screen, which houses Solo, Fireteam, Pinnacle, and Crucible Ops playlists. Bungie have also said the Director will continue to be available through a Worlds tab next to the Portal, so the existing map will still be there. But Bungie indicated, for any of these core playlists, whether it's Crucible or Solo Ops, the entire soft max power level climb will be available purely in those playlists. So again, it's going to make the game easier to understand for newer players, and just create more options for existing players in terms of making progress. These playlists will also have a massive amount of modifiers, and we'll be able to apply more modifiers to each activity, which will also scale the potential rewards of them. So as we've seen, weapons and armor will come in 5 different tiers moving forward. Primarily, Bungie want us to earn those tiers by playing different difficulties of content, but it's also possible that there'll be upgrade mechanisms and things. However, Bungie haven't yet outlined that. Additionally, Bungie had said, in terms of seasonal content delivery, they're going to be focusing on special events quite often. So we've got one right now called Heavy Metal, but Bungie will be doing more of this in the future. The new one will include Arms Week, which will be a week-long event introducing new weapons and focusing on an archetype each time it's featured. And major events like Arms Week will feature holofoil weapons, but that treatment will also be applied to existing events like Solstice of Heroes or Festival of the Lost. So it's going to be a fairly significant mix-up on content delivery overall. And of course, most of this is just the start when Edge of Fate actually drops. Many quality of life changes and updates to systems in the game will continue to be implemented as we move into Renegades. For the moment though, that's a slightly more in-depth look at what's been revealed in the past week, so share your thoughts in the comment section guys, any standout bits of content you're looking forward to, or opinions you have on the system changes Bungie have outlined. My main hope is that the core game and new content is engaging enough for players to want to get behind the sort of gear grind once again, both in terms of power, new armor, and weapon tiers. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff that will be sort of starting fresh with, so let us know what you think down below. But if you've enjoyed the video and found it useful, a rating really does help us out on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content, but otherwise thanks for watching and I hope you guys have an awesome day.